Okay. Thank you for the reminder, Linda.
Lovely.
Both in the picture.
So Shabbat Shalom, everybody. As always, I will be picking on people to read, but if you vigorously shake your head no, then that's all it needs. You don't have to. There's no obligation, but it is lovely to hear a variety of voices. Let me share. I already shared the screen. We're doing great. Okie dokie. Let's do slideshow. And maybe let's all take a breath. And we'll begin. Yedid nefesh av harachama av harachama meshoch avtecha el retzonecha el retzonecha yarutz avtecha כמו הים ישתחווה אל מול הברכה. ידיד נפש אב הרחמה אב הרחמה משוך עבדך אל רצונך I wonder if there's a volunteer for this reading. Hannah, maybe you could read this for us, please.
In my experience, prayer does not give security or the answer to problems of the cosmos. At least it never has for me. But though it has not changed the external world to suit my convenience, it has changed me, and I am part of that world. It has not given me security, but it has given me courage and helped me to cope with the next step ahead. And that was by one of my very favorite, lovely rabbis, Lion Blue. May he rest in peace.
And this came from the Siddur, the Friday night Siddur of the community I used to work for, Beit Klal Yisrael. And it was set up in the 90s by a group of activists. And they once told me, I once called them an activist community, and they said, oh no, we weren't activists when we were in the community. We came to the community to find our power and to recharge so that we could do the work that needed to be done in the outside world. And sometimes it feels like there's a lot of work to be done in the outside world. And I love this reading because it says, you know, prayer is there to hold us and to give us strength for whatever we might have to do. So I'll bring, oops, sorry. Here we go. So Ros, if you could do the candles for us.
Sure. You shall call the Sabbath a delight. These lights we kindle are a symbol of joy. May their brightness lift our spirits and fill our hearts with happiness and peace. Sorry, my matches are not being very well behaved.
No, they've been out in today's rain.
I don't know, they're flying off everywhere. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav ve'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. בואכם לשם מלכי השם, Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We welcome in the Shabbat bride with the words of Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi li bat kala, Erev Shabbat ekabela. Lecha Dodi li bat kala, Erev Shabbat ekabela. Shalom. אחד לשם ולתפארת, לתפילה, לדודי לי לקראת קהלה, ונשמה לקבלה, לקראת שבת, לכו Speak and dance, במחשבת תפילה, לדודי לי לקראת קהלה, ונשמה לקבלה, התעוררי, דברי כבוד אדוני, עלייך נגלה, לדודי לי לקראת קהלה, ונשמה לקבלה, בואי ושם, הטרף עליי, שים וצאן סגולה, אוי חלה, לדודי לקראת קהלה, ונשמה לקבלה, לדודי לי Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhma potech sha'arim, u'bitbuna meshane itim, u'mechalif et hazmanim, u'mesadeh et hakochavim b'mishmorei teichem, b'rakia kertzono, b'rei yom v'layla, kolel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. U'mavi yom u'mehivi layla, u'mavdil ben yom u'ben layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. Well, we can read it. Let's sing it. Let's sing it. Okay. Beit Yisrael, Torah Tzor Ukim Shpati Otam Limadetam Otanu Limadetam Al Eloheinu B'Shobenu Benu Siach B'Mukecha V'Nisma B'Mitzvotecha Kihem Hayenu Ve'orech Yadeinu Negeyam V'Layla Ahavatacha Al Tatzis Mimenu L'Olam Israel. This is actually a perfect collaboration for a liberal reform collaborative Friday night service, because Tamara's pre-wired with the reform liturgy and I've got the liberal liturgy in front of me. So between us, we're having a little bit of a mashup, which is working quite well. The odd extra word here and there. Invite us all to take a moment again, just to take a breath in as we reach the Shema.
How's your baby, Mum?
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Shem kavod malchuto leolam va'ed. We seem to, oh, here we go. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher nochim et tzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shiftecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha uv'shatam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beineinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha. We'll take a few moments, either if you're in a Siddur, it's on page 539, I believe, the full text of the Shema, or in the Reform Siddur, it's just there after the original Ve'ahavta, or we can just pray in our own thoughts. Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני Adonai Elohim. I wonder, Brigitte, if you'd be happy to read this either in the English or the Hebrew for us.
All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, eternal one, are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly, we accepted your rule. Then, full of joy, we sang together.
So as we approach Pesach, as we approach Passover, one of the questions we often have, knowing that the people, as they crossed the Sea of Reeds, were somehow able to sing together. The question sometimes we ask is, how did they know what to sing? How did they know the words? And there are various rabbinic commentaries on how exactly they knew what to sing. And one of those commentaries says that Moses sang, and then the people sang after him in a call and response way. There's also the tension in this moment of watching the Egyptians drown in the sea, even as the Israelites are celebrating their freedom. And so it's in the spirit of that tension that I offer a call and response, Mi Chamocha, one that invites us to sing together, and one that invites us to have a little bit of a different musical midrash on this text. Mi Chamocha,
Mi Chamocha,
Ba'elim Adonai,
Ba'elim Adonai,
Mi Kamocha,
Mi Kamocha,
Nedar B'Kodesh.
Neda B'Kodesh.
That's the whole melody. Feel free to sing after me. Nora,
No,
Tehillah,
Ora Tehillah,
oh, say,
oh, say,
Fele, Adonai Imlo,
Adonai Imlo, Leolam Ba'ed,
Adonai Imlo,
Adonai Imlo,
Leolam Ba'ed,
Leolam Ba'ed.
Ya la 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 la. Ya 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 la 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 la. ונאמר, כי יפדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
We reach this prayer of the Hashkivenu. I feel somehow that melody, it kind of for me made that image of the wings, the shelter of wings to keep us from harm. There was something very comforting about that tune. Hopefully we can bring that into this Hashkivenu as we're going to sing from. It's nice to do this on screen because I can show you exactly where. If I've got it right, then we're starting from Ushmor Seitenu. Yeah, so we start from this line at the bottom here, and then it will take us to the top. Please join in if and when you know the tune.
Ushmor
Satan Rabbeinu לחיים ולשלום ואתה ביד עולם ואתה ביד עולם ואתה ביד עולם
ושמור צאתנו.
ושמור צאתנו רבנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם מעתה ועד עולם מעתה ועד עולם
מעתה.
מעתה ועד עולם מעתה ועד עולם מעתה ועד עולם השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשם והעידנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו מעתה ועד עולם 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 ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל יושבי תבל. We stand either in body or while we're here on Zoom in spirit and in mind for our Amidah. Adonai Sefatai Titafu Via Gitelatecha Adonai Sefatai Tiftachu Via Gitelatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'Imateinu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, U'mevii Gula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozeh u'Moshir u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Tzrat Sarah.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריע השמש ומוריד הטל, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיה מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו משני עפר, מי כמוך בגבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים.
They can see your faces.
Kadosh ata v'nora shemecha ve'ein lanu Eloha mibeladecha. Baruch ata Adonai ha'el hakadosh. And Dean, I wonder if you'd please read this for us.
Forgive me if my internet keeps constantly dropping out, but I'll go. We thank you, O God, for this Sabbath day, which calls us to a closer communion with you. Though you are near to us at all times, you reveal your presence most closely when we direct our thoughts towards you in worship and meditation. In you, O God, our humanity is exalted. You are our life. From you comes its greatness, its power, its beauty. Establish in us, we humbly pray, a devotion to you that shall be firm in all circumstances of life. May this service renew in our heart the sense of your presence and bring us peace.
Amen. Thank you, Dean. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. And Alison, I wonder if you'd be happy to read this text for us in whichever language you prefer.
Yes, of course. Our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, eternal one, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu bi'amcha Yisrael u'tefilatam bi'ahava tekabel u'tehi l'ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Baruch atah Adonai she'otecha levadcha b'yira na'avod.
Modim anachnu lach, she'atahu Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu le'olam va'ed. Zor chayenu magen yishenu atahu ledor vador. Nodelecha u'nesaper tehilatecha al chayenu hamsurim bi'adecha ve'al nishmotenu hapekudot lach ve'al nisecha shebechol yom imanu ve'al niflotecha v'tovotecha shebechol eit erev v'avoker b'tzoharayim. Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha u'lecha na'eh lehodot. Shalom Rav Yisrael Kasirim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Kasirim Leolam. Ki atam Lachol HaShalom. Ki atam Shalom Rav Yisrael Kasirim Leolam. Shalom Rav Kasirim Leolam. Letov beinecha et amcha Yisrael ve'et kol ha'amim bechol עת bechol sha'ah bishlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Kasirim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Kasirim Leolam.
Baruch atah Adonai oseh hashalom. We'll have a few moments of our own prayers and meditations. I'll stop the share for a moment. Oh, sorry, I've shared the wrong one. We'll sing or say shalom, and I think it's throwing up the wrong page and it will do it again. So we'll sing. Oh, say shalom bimroman. Say shalom ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Right, hopefully, if I get up my notes and then when I share the screen again, hopefully it'll be the right screen it shares, but we'll see what happens. If not, you'll just get a sneak peek of all my notes. Let me just get you all on the screen. So we have we're in Leviticus. We started Leviticus last week, and as many of you know and probably heard last week, Leviticus is not the easiest of books to find meaning from always. In fact, once upon a time, the early liberal communities left Leviticus out completely, arguing that we don't do ritual sacrifice anymore. That's what we have synagogue communities for and prayer. So what meaning could be found in reading Leviticus and reading about sacrifice? And this week, like last week, we're taught in intricate detail about various sacrifices, including, once again, sin sacrifice. There was a lot about sin sacrifice last week. So I'm looking through all of these gory details, and luckily I listened to my favorite Torah podcast. I'm sure we all have one. This one's called Best Book Ever. And this podcast brought to my attention a peculiar line that's hidden amongst all the squeamish detail of sacrifice. And it reads, and this is where I'm going to try and share it with you for this one line. Let's see if we can get it up. Nope. No, but it's not the other one, because that is the one with the picture. Let's see. We're going to try. If I do, how do I get another tab on? I don't know how to use Macs. This is my problem. Okay, now I'm going to try and share it. This looks hopeful. Nearly hopeful. Here we go. There we go. So we've got this line here. Nearly. Where's it gone? Here we go. I'm not going to touch anything from now on. Okay. An earthen vessel in which it was boiled shall be broken. If it was boiled in a copper vessel, the vessel shall be scoured and rinsed with water. Now, this isn't just instruction on clearing up after sacrifice. This is saying that if a vessel in which the context of this, but I left out the gory details. If a vessel in which the sacrificial meal was eaten in is clay, then after the meal, after the sacrifice is eaten, that vessel should be broken. But if it's made out of copper, don't worry about it. You can scour it and rinse it with water. And actually in the Mosaic kitchen, all of our crockery is glass, partly for this reason, partly so we don't have to go around smashing crockery every time we worry that something's not kosher anymore. Now I'm going to see if I can get my notes up again without messing too much with what's going on here, so I'm not only rambling, but rambling with some context. Tamara, you know how to use a Mac. How do I get the other Google tab up, the other Google screen? Yay, she did it. Thank you so much. Okie doke. So what is all of this about a broken vessel? Well, you have probably heard the term tikkun olam. It's a very well used term, particularly in progressive Judaism. And actually, tikkun olam, the root of tikkun olam is all about a broken vessel and actually all about the creation of the world. So according to the Kabbalistic thinker Isaac Luria, before the world was created, this is one of my favorite teachings, God had to draw back. God was taking up so much space that God had to draw back in order to make room for creation. And in doing so, there's this imagery in Kabbalah that God's light was drawn in and contained in vessels. But the power of God's light was so strong, or the power of the spirituality or whatever we might picture that to be was so strong that some of those vessels shattered from that power, and they shattered all around the world, and those broken shards are supposedly scattered around the world. It sounds very Harry Potter-esque. I wonder if J.K. Rowling ever read Kabbalistic thought. And so tikkun olam in that Lurianic thought is that in order to repair the world, we need to gather up those broken vessels, because as they are shattered with the divine light within them, that light is not able to grow. So we find the shards and we rebuild them. Or in other words, and as our modern day tikkun olam has come to understand it, it is our work to repair the evil acts or the wrongdoings in the world, which are seen as those broken vessels, in order to rebuild it. So we don't wait for God. We don't wait for God to rebuild the world God's self. That's the job of us to do it. And there was also talk I learned, it told me in this favorite podcast of mine, that in Hasidic times in Ukraine, they moved that to be about a person, that these vessels weren't shards of clay, but actually they became people scattered around the world, needing to be brought back together in community. And I find this idea that in order to create, not only sometimes do we have to withdraw and leave space, but sometimes creation comes from a shattering. Sometimes when things feel too much, or the system's not working, or whatever it might be, we need to shatter. We need to feel a bit broken. Things need to be a bit broken in order for us to be able to put them back together again. And this week, I think in our family has been a particularly hard week. I'm not sure if you heard of the shootings in Nashville, and thank God it's I say it's been a particularly hard week for our family. They were around the corner, they weren't there, and so for some families it was truly awful. But it brought some of that horror very close to home, and we had a lot of conversations around what that means for those horrors to be so close to home, and whatever it is that we might be holding. I often think when I'm looking for hope in the world, that throughout history, these things that happen, these shatterings, these moments, these transformative moments, in the midst of them, we never know that it's going to be okay. And yet throughout history, we've seen in these peaks and troughs that it is going to be okay. So right now, as in some weeks more than others, things can feel quite shattered. We know that sometimes in that shattering, we can create. So we're going to move to the Aleinu, to this kind of vision of this world rebuilt, this messianic age. And I think I've understood how to share the correct. Oh no.
I think you have to stop the screen you're sharing now and then restart.
There we go. Oh, was I sharing that one the whole time? Well, lucky you. There you go.
Did you want to pull it?
I
The
wanted
other
to
one.
pull up the other one, yeah.
Excellent.
There we go.
Nearly there. I think after so many years, this would be.
No. Okay. All right. Let's do, here we go. Slideshow. You know, we'll just have to do this. Is that going to work? Yes. Okay. So. Aleinu l'shabech la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו לאחד את שמו, וגורר עלינו להמליך מלכותו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אחד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחתינו. And as we reach the Kaddish, we as a community are thinking of Alan Sandler, the father of Caroline Abrams, Alfred Zane, the husband of Joyce Zane, Amelia Fabian, mother of Janet Simons, Brian Leon Collins, husband of Carol Collins, Golda Bromberg, grandmother of Mandy Roos, Jack Mendel Kessler, father of Helena Isakharov, Leah Sinkin, mother of Trudy Siegel, Louis Ullman, father of Veronica Music, Norman Trevor Jacob, brother of Joseph Jacob, Romek Marber, uncle of Elaine Sinclair, Sidney Davis, father of Nigel Davis. And this week as well, there was the funeral of Basil Cohen, who's the father of Jason and the brother of Tony Cohen. And in the liberal community, we remember Christine Brenner Cohen, the sister of Adrian Cohen, Philip Goodwin, the brother of Cynthia York, Mimi Gordon, the aunt of Lindsay Cohen, Raymond Lubert, the husband of Maureen Lubert, Harry Manns, the husband of Josephine Manns, Renee Phillips, the mother of Jeffrey Phillips, and Hannah Schlesinger, the mother-in-law of Hannah Schlesinger. And I look to the screen, and if there's anyone else who's remembering someone at this time, please do unmute yourself and share that name.
Yeah, I'm just going to share the name of Paul O'Grady. Iconic, wonderful guy.
Very much so.
It really touched me, learning of his death.
Can I share the name of Paul Lewis, somebody from the community up in North Staffordshire?
Yeah. Thank you, Alison. We say, may their memories be for an eternal blessing. We say together the words of Kaddish with all those who mourn. If I close this, hopefully the right one will share.
And feel free to unmute yourself if you want to join in.
Yeah.
With the Kaddish, even if not in sync.
We recognize that each of us is not so much a person, but a world, or rather the bearer in her or himself of a world, a unique, irreplaceable, populated world linked by a myriad of threads, to other such worlds, and that if when someone dies who has been part of our life, there is a rent in the universe, like a star vanishing. But like that star vanishing, that world leaves ineradicable traces in us as a star does in space, so that we mourn, but we remember and we know that there will be a living trace of that person in our consciousness always. Yit gadal v'yit kadash ve'alma divrach irutei ve'amlich machutei v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabba mavarach le'olam olalmei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'a v'yitnaman v'yitnaseh v'yithada v'yithale v'yithalal shemei ksha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechmata v'yamiran v'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mrumav hu ya'asei shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol bnei Adam ve'imru. Amen. And before we sing our concluding prayer, I wish all of you who are reading Kaddish for Yahrzeit a long life and many, many happy memories. Kevin, do we have any announcements?
Not many, except tomorrow, Rabbi Andrew Goldstein will be leading the service in person, obviously in our, I keep calling it our new building, but it feels quite old now. We've been there some time. And thank you, and tomorrow as well. What a double act it is. You're welcome every time. It's like, I know the sound was a little bit distorted with you kind of, because, but it was absolutely just wonderful.
Oh, sorry, our sound was distorted. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, you can discuss later whose fault it was, but it's just lovely seeing together. It had so much to it. It's like it's possibly the broken vessel that can be repaired and add sort of quality. So thank you. Tomorrow you're welcome anytime. Can I kidnap you?
I quite like her. I want to keep her.
Yeah.
So we've got, as well as Andrew in the Liberals tomorrow, I think that the Reform service is going to be lay-led. Unfortunately, Kathleen's still not feeling 100%. And so she's, I'm very happy actually that she's taking the extra time to recover so that she's fit and well, please God, by Pesach. So it'll be a lay-led service with Chessie, of course, as well tomorrow morning.
Yeah. And your pet, Anna, the pet, the dog that was dropping in and out.
Two of them. So it looked like we cooked one and then he got burnt because we had a white one to start with and a black one at the end. But yeah, they're there to join the family, to join the
Enjoy. So it's a three-way effort. So thank you very much.
We'll conclude the service. I thought I'd take advantage of Tamara being here, and we've got this tune to oh, I can't see it, but it's to Yetza Mi Mitzrayim. It's a text that's in the Haggadah. So we're just prepping everyone. It's the warm-up stretches for Pesach that's coming on Wednesday. And this is a setting by, I didn't write Noah Aronson. I've left him off. Just like my words petered out as I was writing my Devar. So this is by Alana Arian and Noah Aronson. And the great thing about this is this tune is new, but it fits perfectly with the Dayenu that we know and love. So we'll learn this together. Adam lirot et atzmo ke'ilu yatsa miMitzrayim bechol tovado Adam lirot et atzmo ke'ilu יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים, יצא ממצרים. בכל טובתו היה באדם לראות את עצמו כאילו יצא ממצרים. Try it with us. מצרים יצא ממצרים יצא ממצרים.
If all you sing is Yatsa mi Mitzrayim, that will be the perfect amount of participation. And it's just those two words over and over. And again, they sound like this. Yatsa mi Mitzrayim. Yatsa mi Mitzrayim. That's the whole thing. Yatsa mi Mitzrayim. Yatsa mi Mitzrayim. Yatsa mi Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim. I can't do it. Mitzrayim. Yatsa mi Mitzrayim. Yatsa mi Mitzrayim. Yatsa mi Mitzrayim. Yatsa mi Mitzrayim. Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and Pesach Sameach, although I will see you tomorrow, and please God on Thursday as well for our communal Seder. Let's all do Kiddush together. If you want to grab your Kiddushy bits. Mine here. You okay? Don't do that. Okie dokie. Would you like to do the honors? Sure. As our guest cantor.
Yes.
ויהי בוקר יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי וקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי האופן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש יציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת בהיותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת לחיים. Has anyone got a challah that they can hold up for us? Oh, Rosie, you look like you're grabbing one. Amazing. I'm going to pin you to spotlight you on the screen and we'll stop share as well. So that's, oops, and please do go ahead and lead us in Motzi. Yeah, go for it with the challah. You should be spotlight unless.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Thank you.
Rania.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Rania.
Some
Bye.
lovely
Thank you.
tunes.
Shabbat shalom.
Bye. Thank you.
Shabbat
Thank you,
shalom.
girls.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for a wonderful service. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
That was
you.
lovely. It was absolutely delightful.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you.
Dog and
Shabbat
all.
shalom.
Dogs and all. Thank you. Shabbat
Thank
shalom.
you.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow.
I'll see some of you tomorrow. Again, thank you, Anna and Tamara.
Of course. Thank you, Kevin. See you tomorrow.
I'm nice.
they've come.